Hello. I've got an SP video for you today. Whoa! Bet you weren't expecting that. It's not really just an SP video. It's more general, but it pertains to an SP question. I got an SP question this morning from somebody, and they asked a question that I've heard many times. And I made a video somewhere back there. If you look hard, you can probably find it. It's probably in the SP playlist. SP playlist I'll link above if you like SP videos that are different, because mine are. The question today was like, I get along with this specific person I want to manifest back into my life romantically. Oh my God, this is a perfect Valentine's Day video. Synchronicities, holy cow. I didn't even realize that this is a SP Valentine's Day video. Unbelievable. Cupid, shoot your arrow. So I get along, this question, which I've heard several times, basically I get along with this person. They do not want to be romantically involved with me anymore, seemingly. That's what they've expressed verbally. And long story short, I want to be romantically involved with them. And then the follow-up from today's, and I've heard this before too, is, I've done inner work, I've done self-work on this. Like, I've gone to therapy about, my attachment and how I deal with relationships, and, I've delved into my past and done work on this already. So I'm not just trying to manifest this guy or girl out of nowhere. I've done work on myself. I don't want to do therapy anymore. I don't need therapy. I want to try these law of assumption or law of attraction or whatever you want to call them, manifesting principles to manifest this specific person romantically back into my life, or something along those lines. But, this is my answer. My answer is, if you've done that stuff, and the question this morning, to delve a little bit more into it, was like, I want to try out this. I don't know if they're relatively new to these law of assumption, law of attraction ideas in regards to SP, but, they basically like, I want to try this stuff out. I feel like I can take more control of my life by applying this stuff as opposed to what I've done before to try to get this person back and to improve my life in general. And again, I might be projecting about this person's question, but this is more of a general. I want to give you a general example anyway, because it will relate to more of you if I do so. So my answer is pretty much, if you're familiar with my SP advice, what you would expect, in that if the person says they don't want to be with you and you want to be with them, you got to deal with it. And how you deal with it, whether you're going to therapy or counseling, whether you're doing some other kind of healing work about, inner child, or dealing with your parts like they do in IFS, or whether it's law of assumption, law of attraction type SP advice, you've got to deal with it in your own way. And in my opinion, my short answer is, doing this SP advice, applying it, in my opinion, is not all that different than doing the inner work in these other modalities, whether it's therapy, whether it's healing work in some other way. For me, they all are related. They're all related. They're not that different. Now, if you want to be a manipulative piece of shit, which I assume you don't, you can do these, law of assumption YouTube video SP stuff. I think that the SP advice is really only worth practicing if you are applying the golden rule. Do unto others what you would do to yourself. I've seen, in theory, that sounds beautiful, and applying it to an SP situation sounds beautiful. It doesn't usually fucking work in reality, from what I've seen. And I've seen plenty. You're too intertwined. If you've already were in a relationship with someone, they say they don't want to be in a relationship, and you want them back. And then you're just trying to apply the golden rule to that situation, giving them love, giving them love, giving them love. The self-love you feel for yourself is the love you feel for them. That's beautiful. But most people can't do that. They fuck it up. Sorry, they fuck it up. And you're right back where you started, where you have to do inner work, whether it's via therapy or counseling or different healing modalities to heal yourself, as opposed to trying to get the person back. Because if you just try to get the person back using this law of assumption SP stuff and don't continue to do serious inner work, the same shit is probably going to happen again. And, I often tell clients who have SP issues, like, they've told you they don't want to be in the relationship with you. And if you're mature, you flesh that out. You say, okay, I still really love you and want to be in a relationship with you. You don't have to use those exact words, but you fucking should verbally tell them that. And they might get freaked the fuck out and be like, you're acting fucking weird. Or they might be like, I hear where you're coming from. And, I'm not there right now. Or I hear where you're coming from and I'm willing to work on it. Regardless, you got to be mature about your relationship situation. I mean, this is about maturity. This is SP advice, in my opinion, is like in applying it. It's just about maturity. It's about doing mature inner work and treating the other person as you would like to be treated. There's so much desperation, so much fear when it comes to most SP situations that I hear about in regards to law of assumption stuff. It's just all fucked up. I often hear like, I've done therapy. I don't need therapy anymore. I just want these ideas to work for me. Guess what? That's when you need therapy more. Or counseling. Or some healing modality that's all about inner work. And I know the law of assumption is all about inner work too, right? But do unto others as you would do to yourself is not a cheap slogan. It's motherfucking inner work. And I'm sorry I'm swearing so much, but it needs to be sworn. What a Valentine's Day video this is. So often it's like, I've already done, inner work on this and I just want the SP back. Well, guess what? You're fucked up in regards to this situation then. You're fucked up. What's not fucked up is being present right here and looking at those hurt feelings, looking at, oh, he won't come back, she won't come back, looking at, I'm not good enough. We can assume our way all the way to the moon, but that assumption has to be backed by a deep feeling of self-love, I would say, of self-confidence and assurance. And that is not cheap advice. The golden rule is not cheap advice. All this stuff works together, in my opinion. I don't think there's a big difference between any of these different things, between self-improvement, different various healing modalities, therapy, counseling, law of assumption, law of attraction. I do not see a big difference. Never have. And the longer I do this, the less of a difference I see, both in my own life and working with clients. You try one thing, and if it doesn't work, try something else. But feel free to blend them together however you like and lean on the few things that really work for you. This is for SP advice or any type of manifesting advice, but it's also just for life advice. And know you're all right already. So this might be tough love, but it's an appropriate SP video for Valentine's Day, I guess one could say. More questions? Let me know, radicalcounselor.com. Until next time, may Cupid bless you in all your endeavors.